labeled the man, like Rusev, for instance, and given the microphone to talk, after they realized they couldn't cut a promo to save their life or to make a feud more entertaining, feud or rivalry, pretty much their career just went downhill from there. You take a look at everybody who's been given an opportunity to talk in that microphone, like Rusev, who I just mentioned there. He was the man as U.S. champion. He went undefeated for several months before losing his first match to John Cena at WrestleMania 31 just a couple of years ago. And after he talks on the microphone, and Lana talks more on the microphone, their careers, both of their careers, have suffered on a downward spiral, and they've had nothing done with their careers since. A second or a third reign for Rusev as U.S. champion really is unjustifiable. In my opinion, it's obviously being done because you have nothing else for Rusev to do. You're not really playing up to the whole idea of the League of Nations anymore. So it's just to give Rusev something to do because you obviously realize he's talented as a wrestler more so than he is on the microphone. So giving him the U.S. title at least makes him stand out. Maybe not as much as a year or two ago, but at least people are talking about Rusev as the U.S. champion a little bit more than what they would have been if he wasn't U.S. champion. But everyone who has been labeled the man in WWE, given the chance to talk on that microphone, has always fucked it up some way or another. And Reigns is no exception because Reigns is screwing up more than enough that I can remember anyone having screwed up as champion. I mean, I remember when Sheamus, talking about Sheamus, was champion back in 2009. They put the title on him within 4 months of his WWE arrival, I think, and he had a lot of pressure on his shoulders. But even he was a more entertaining champion on the microphone. No matter if he was a fan favorite or a heel champion, he was always somebody who could get the crowd going and get the crowd uproared for a championship match or a feud or rivalry that he was involved in, no matter what kind of circumstance Sheamus was faced with, what kind of pressure he was faced with or dealing with. He always came through, and that's more than what I can say for Reigns. I mean, Reigns is a champion who I think that, we could have any champion, and the champion that we would have replacing Reigns, regardless if it was Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton, who's been rumored to be returning sometime very soon in the very near future, rumors of Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton running rampant this year for SummerSlam. What do you think of that? Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar. You could have anyone as champion, and they would be a better champion than the champion that we have now. Do I think we're going to see Reigns again? Yeah, I think we'll see Reigns again. It's just a matter of when, where, and how Reigns will return to WWE. If it's anything like his last return during his feud with Triple H, then it's not really anything to look forward to. And I mean, who really out there, I think I can speak for all wrestling fans when I say who really out there is excited for the return of Roman Reigns? Who really is a fan of Roman Reigns? Now, I'm not really disrespecting, choosing to do so, the Roman Reigns fans out there, because I know the Roman Reigns fans exist out there, and they're going to come down hard on me for my opinion on Roman Reigns. But I mean, can you really blame me for feeling the way that I do about Roman Reigns? If he was more entertaining on the microphone, he was more exciting to watch, he gave us better matches, better feuds as champion, then yeah, I'd be more for Roman Reigns. But when it came to the three Shield members, the one that I was really diehard for was always either Seth Rollins or especially Dean Ambrose, because of how he closely resembled that of a Brian Pillman kind of character. He just had that Brian Pillman craziness about him and that unpredictability about him that really allowed him to go the distance. And I think that Dean Ambrose pretty much was a shoe-in to be the one to break out from the Shield and actually get attention. You knew Seth Rollins was going to be a favorite because Triple H loves to play favorites with certain wrestlers, and likely enough, of course, obviously Seth Rollins was someone who Triple H has been playing favorites with, and you would expect to have played favorites with because of the promise that went with Rollins when he caused that severance in the Shield back in 2013, 2014. So you obviously knew someone was either going to have favoritism played with him, that game, that very popular game that's been played so many times over the years of professional wrestling. Give me a fucking break. That's been played so many times over the years. I mean, we're pretty much accustomed to that. Anyone who's watched wrestling for the better part of the last decade knows the popular game of favoritism was either played by either Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie, whoever was in the lead position of WWE, always loved to play that game, or it was going to be the obvious fan favorite of the threesome, which obviously was Dean Ambrose. Congratulations to Dean Ambrose for winning the championship after having chased it for what feels like forever. For the Dean Ambrose fans out there, I can't tell you how much I appreciate enough what they did for Dean Ambrose. It was a long time coming. You could see this coming for months. They were hyping it up. Either the IC title or the big one was going to happen for Dean Ambrose. And after that incredible match with Brock Lesnar, he was rewarded and rewarded deservedly. So, I mean, they weren't going to put the title on anyone who was more entertaining. I mean, the Ambrose Asylum was one way of looking at it. But, I mean, with just how entertaining. You could have thrown the Ambrose Asylum out the door entirely, out the proverbial window and door, and just had Dean Ambrose coming out and cutting promos with people like Chris Jericho without the Ambrose Asylum, and it would have been just as entertaining. So Ambrose is champion. Great move there, just as it was having Sheamus be a fan favorite and champion. At the same time, a number of years ago, very similar in a lot of ways. It was a great move. So I think that there's a promising future for both Rollins and Dean Ambrose, and that's more than I can say for Roman Reigns, who I am not a fan of. Will I still feel this way 6 months from now? That's kind of up in the air for me right now. It's very hard for me to decide whether or not I'll be a Roman Reigns fan probably 6 months from now, but I'll hopefully get away with saying that I won't be if things keep going the way that they have for Roman Reigns, and that's really unfortunate for me to have to say for the Roman Reigns fans out there that I know exist. But I mean, if it would have happened to anybody else, they would have had the same kind of punishment dealt to them, if not worse. So WWE definitely are not the ones we should be blaming here. But who do you think is at fault? If you want to be pointing that proverbial finger of blame at anyone, who do you think it's at fault? The WWE executives or Roman Reigns? Let me know in the comments of this video blog on my YouTube channel, live video feed for you. I'm going to try to do more of these as time goes on. I know it was a while ago since I've done a live video feed. I think the last one that I did was actually on Randy Orton a number of years ago, actually. So hopefully now with the new technology that I've come across with a brand new laptop, I'll be able to produce even higher quality videos for you in the way of live videos, not just audio commentaries on my YouTube channel. If you want to see more of these, if you have a thought, of course, get in on the conversation, call your friends and let them know Jonathan Clarke is live one more time on his YouTube channel with a live video feed. Get in on the conversation, and hopefully this will offer you a little bit of a reprieve from the previous karaoke videos that I've done in my spare time on my YouTube channel and kind of get you away from having watched those. There are more of these to come where this one came from. But, again, I apologize to the Roman Reigns fans who may have come across this video on YouTube, because I know there are people who can't get enough of YouTubing videos on their favorite celebrities, on their favorite wrestlers, their favorite sports icons. I apologize if you clicked on this video and expected to hear or see something different in the way of an opinion on Roman Reigns, but it is what it is, and that's what I think creates diversity, especially when it comes to professional wrestling. Not everybody is going to agree or concur with an opinion, and it's just my opinion on Reigns is not as high as the opinions I may have on John Cena, which have gone up in the way of expectations and that of Randy Orton over the last number of years. It may not be as high of an opinion as I have on people like The Undertaker, but again, I play the game of favoritism, which I just spoke on there. I favor the legends, the Undertakers, the Kanes, the Steve Austins, the Rocks, and the Triple H's more so than I ever have these upstart talents like Roman Reigns, because they still have a long way to go and a lot to prove to me, especially after having profiled this for pretty close to 18 years. So if you have a thought on this, get in on the conversation. Leave it for me on my YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22. Tweet it to me on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1. And, of course, you can get into the conversation also on my Facebook page at HEW Entertainment, on my Google Plus page. You can do the same at the same name, HEW Entertainment. So much to get in on the way of conversation. I've got to get out of here for this week, but definitely share this video if you like it. Once again, I thank you for sharing my content on my YouTube channel, all my content in the way of articles. I may have posted on my Facebook page and on my Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1. Of course, thank you guys so much for sharing my content. You're more than welcome to share this video if you like it. Get in on the conversation and let me know what you think, because your opinion at the end of every show is what matters. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke, and I will talk to you again next week. It's been my pleasure.
HEW Entertainment Radio is a production of HEW Entertainment on their official website and broadcasts on social media. You can join the conversation on our Facebook page at HEW Entertainment, follow and listen to our show on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1, and watch us on our YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22. Hosted and produced by Jonathan Clarke out of Canada. If you have any questions on our radio broadcast, you can email us at jonathanclarke2005 at hotmail.com. Thank you for listening.